life, and even more so for the Vietnamese parents. Yet hardly anyone can see that the mere act of learning alone for some children can be painstaking and for some deprives them of their childhood, making them lacking in their passions and goals for life, and even more devastating, some of the psychological effect for them in the long run. Not to mention, psychologists are often deemed an absurd concept in Vietnam by the majority of the public. Those who face troubles are often called weaklings and ridiculed until they learn how to get a hold of themselves. But sadly, not many succeed the trials. I myself was one of them who fought through, and the journey of fighting through one wasn't easy at all. Therefore, I cannot bear the thought of standing up here and not mentioning those who spend a great deal of their time studying hard, but then not recognized for them. And I would like to fight for a better generation of Vietnamese students who will be young leaders with a healthy psychological well-being. This is Căng The Project.
So, overall, our project is Căng Project. We aim to help students in all ages, from secondary school to high school, to be less stressed in school by operating a de-stress day last week. So, our aim is to promote their well-being and help them to enjoy their life better in that day. And we had a lot of activities like board games, henna tattoo, and so on. So those activities help students from all ages, including children and adults, to enjoy their life better and to be less stressed in coping with school's studies and their works. So we attracted from 200 to 300 people. All of them had positive moods and enjoyed their day a lot. And they felt really happy being in that day. So that can be said as one of our success. That is the overview of Căng Project.
So this is our mission statement. We aim to help raise awareness of people in Vietnamese society about the importance of dealing with stress and how to best relieve them. Secondly, we want to reach out to those who are under stress and help empower them, increase their self-confidence, and make them more comfortable in reaching out for help. And we also wanted to form a bond between the attendees and make people more comfortable to seek out help in mental issues, as it is there's a stigma surrounding mental health and stress now in many societies.
Now we would like to go to our objectives. The main objective is an open fair every year or even every 6 months to directly provide entertainment and relaxation to the students in Hanoi or even in Ho Chi Minh City in the near future, and aiming to increase the attendance by 100 to 200 after every single one event. We would like to even create, our future goal is to create more support group in order to people to interact with each other, express themselves very openly and freely without having to fear that others would have to judge them. We also operate aiming to reach out to many other charity funds that help children with mental illness to aid their combat and help them to make a better life. We also have in mind of hosting exhibition to raise awareness among our societies about the reality of pressures from school and aiming at different ways in order to counter it. And now, welcome to the team members. The first one here is Annie Go. She is the head of logistics. Basically, she takes care of buying from the smallest stuff, such as the balloons and the candles, to the largest of the whole, like the pool or hiring the DJ. She takes care of most of them, and she also reaches out to the funding in order to ask for to us help us raise such a successful event. And in the middle is me. I am in charge of public relations, which basically asking for different people to help us write stuff on social media, and also I'm in charge of making advertising our project and asking more people to come and just spreading the news in general. The last one that we cannot forget, and the youngest member of our team is Sun Tu. She's a very ambitious young leader who actually group all the volunteers together, interview them, and separate them into proper positions so that we can have a very operational team in general.
On to goals and community serve. So we aim to have an open fair every year to directly provide entertainment and relaxation to fight stress. So the results of our event is that 250 to 300 people came, and they all had a lot of fun, and as shown by the pictures and the pictures that we have at the skull. And we aim to do this more often and every year, and aim to increase the attendance by 100 after each event. We also wanted to have an exhibition to raise awareness among our society about the reality of school and pressure.
So as you can see, we can influence these young children even though they do not get a concept of if we're relieving these pressures from now. But once we embed them into their young mindset, they are the people who are going to change the world and make a better generation, every single one of their young needs. And now, last of all, these are what we learned from the leadership class about how to develop ourselves as humans in general. So we first of all learned to be creative. We learned to make very bold decisions and very out-of-the-world thinking. We even suggested a ball pit, a pool. All of them seems very out of the box, and no one actually initially agreed with them. We argued a lot over a course of even 1.5 months. And finally, we decided to make it after all. It did prove to be a success for all of us. Therefore, we can proudly say that we dared to make bold decisions and we succeeded. We also learned to maintain a positive attitude throughout the whole process. Even though there are some fall breakdowns, remember leaving the groups, we still stayed strong again together and always cheered in bad times, so that we can ensure that there will be a successful event overall. Last of all is communication, and we would like to say that communication is a very key part in group work, because without communication, other people will just carry on doing the same work and there's no cohesion in the group as a whole. Therefore, we learn to communicate better throughout the process, and slowly, at the last minutes, we can actually divide a lot of work into proper amounts for every single one of the volunteers and the organizer. And thank you for everyone for listening to us. We are hoping to bring even more joy to everyone around us. And do you have any questions?
It looks like the events were pretty successful, bringing students together and like de-stressing and reaching the goals of your mission statement. However, what are you doing like outside of the events for people to be able to implement these changes in their lives on a daily basis? Like, how will you affect students?
It will pay more attention to student stress as a whole. And from that, we're going to develop into smaller groups of students who can keep tight connection with each other throughout the school year to share every experience that they have, the pleasant and even the unpleasant one. And we're aiming to make all of them into positive experience that can help to reinforce them into better people in general.
And I want to further explain about the sponsorship. So actually, to prepare for the fair, we don't just do one thing, but we have to do so many things because there are so many activities in it, and we have to invite a lot of people there to take part in and to do their jobs there. For example, we had invited a small restaurant where they sell Korean food, so we connect them to our students and children who come to the fair so they can sell goods and buy things. Like we are the connectors in the middle, and we had to email a lot of people, so that was, at first we fought a lot, but after all they are all fine. And I have to thank Miss Annie here because she found the sponsorship and she raised our fund to an amount of $7 million, and that was really impressive. And so.
Okay, so thank you judges and thank you Group 12, Căng The Project, and congratulations on the presentation. Now joining the stage. Thank you very much. Chúng ta là trong hàng một tay, tháng 2